Hi everybody, welcome to TradeVision. Today I want to go over the call and the put walls and how they can benefit your trading and how you can use them as fantastic tools. So right now I'm currently on the screener. Let's go ahead and go to the visualizer on the right hand side, and now we can go ahead and search for a ticker over here. Let's go ahead and start with a very liquid ticker called Apple. And liquid just means that a lot of people trade the stock, so it's relatively easier to find trades. I'll show you how. So the call and the put walls will be represented by these green bars here on the right, and the put walls will be represented by these red ones on the left. These are your call options, these are your puts options right here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and change the expiration date up at the top up here, and let's go ahead and select the third Friday of the month. Now, why am I going to select the third Friday of the month? The third Friday of the month is usually the most liquid option date selection that you can choose from on most tickers and most stocks. Therefore, since it is the most liquid, it will have the most activity, which will mean that the call and the put walls will be much larger, and they will be pretty good examples. So let's go ahead and take a look. Let's go ahead and select the 18th of October right here, 38 days away for Apple. Okay, so now the call walls, they will be the resistance levels when we're setting up trades. So if we look on Apple up here, okay, we have some pretty big walls here at 235 and 230. These are the biggest green bars right here, and we have another pretty big one here at 250. So these ones right there. If I go ahead and I select a bear call spread, just so I can see what the call option statistics actually are, I can click on the 235 up here, and I can see it's open interest. Open interest is very, very high, 39,826. Open interest represents the amount of contracts that are currently trading within the market. 39,000 contracts are being floating around open inside of the market currently. We also have the volume on the left, 4,551. The volume represents how many contracts were traded today. If I go down to the bottom of TradeVision, down here, you can see that I can select OI for open interest or VOL for volume. It gives us a little description as well. Individual bars on each strike showing the level of OI/VOL, open interest or volume overlay. So if I wanted to see the volume in the green bars, instead I can click on volume, and I can see that the 230 call option had the most volume today. If I want to go back to open interest, it'll bring us to the original green bars showing the amount of open interest for the calls and the open interest for the puts. So this is a great feature, because you can see that since these big green bars exist up here, these are our top resistances. This is what is in the way of Apple going higher. Same thing for the put side. Same exact concept. I'm going to go ahead and go to a bull put spread right here so we can analyze the put options on the left. We have our biggest level here at 200. The biggest put levels will indicate the support levels. We have another one here at 210. So our biggest support areas are going to be 210 and 200. This is a great way on how you can use this tool to identify support and resistance levels. It saves you a lot of time. Another good thing is it also gives you the amount of liquidity as well, and it showcases which strike prices are going to be the most prevalent when selecting your trades. For example, if you wanted to select a bull put spread, you're better off choosing maybe a 200 put because it has the most liquidity up here or down here, and you can also maybe select a 210 put because it has the second most liquidity. Of course, there are still other factors you have to pay attention to, like the width of your spread, because that will declare how much maximum loss you're willing to take on. So those are still factors you have to be comfortable with. But when we're just looking at the call put walls, yes, these are great tools that you can use to identify the amount of liquidity, the calls on the right, the puts on the left. The calls will be resistance, the puts will be support. So let's go ahead and try out a different stock, something that's a little bit less liquid. Let's go ahead and take a look at AVGO, for example. Now AVGO is Broadcom, and it's not a super illiquid stock, but is definitely less liquid than Apple. So let's go ahead and click on the third Friday of the month, just as we did. Let's click on October 18th up here for our expiration date, 38 days away. As you can see, there are many strike prices. I'm currently displaying the open interest, so I want to see how much open interest these puts have. So the calls have the most open interest up in this area. Okay, this is where the majority of our green bars are happening. And the puts, not so much. We have one pretty big one here at around 140. We have one kind of about 150. And that's about it. Maybe you can look at these small ones, but again, not too much. AVGO already looks somewhat less liquid, although the calls are definitely popping up here. As we can see, there is a huge increase in the open interest at these levels. So, right, maybe I wanted to set up a bear call spread. If I wanted to set up a bear call spread with my strike prices being up here, I have a lot of options that I can choose from. For one, a lot of these bars are going to be very, very, very liquid, and they also act as a resistance, which is good for a bear call spread, right? So this is how you can use them to your advantage. It saves you a lot of time because you can see the strike prices that you want to select already that have the most open interest. Again, you can always hit the volume if you wanted to see. If you wanted to organize the calls and the puts by volume instead, we can see that AVGO has the most volume actively traded today, around 150, right? That makes sense because we're currently trading at 147.9. 150 is right there at the money nearly, and there is the most activity currently taking place. So another great tool that you can use as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found this really, really, really helpful, and thanks for watching.